There's been a lot of speculation on the internet on a second Trump term. In this video, I'll cover a few theories. To begin, we need to understand the United States' biggest secret. To do that, I'll need to show you a bit of the matrix. The United States was founded in 1776 as a constitutional republic, a sovereign land free from tyranny and free from taxation. To speed up the story a bit, somewhere along the lines the United States went bankrupt, so in 1871 the United States was converted into a corporation, or the United States Corporation. With this came a change from our traditional system of constitutional law to maritime admiralty law. So constitutional law is essentially the law of the land, whereas the maritime admiralty system is the law of the sea. So the United States as you know it, your parents know it, your grandparents, etc., has been operating under a legal con. Essentially, a corporation is set up to seek dominion, which is kind of a weird coincidence when you consider the names of the voting machines from this year's election. The corporation exists as an antagonist to the sovereignty of the individual states. So to go back to the maritime admiralty system for a minute, you know we're in this because of the terminology. So there's a lot of sea-related terms. For example, we have citizenship, we have a passport, our rights were converted into liberties or privileges. That's part of the reason why the Statue of Liberty exists in a body of water instead of on the continental United States. In short, you can recognize this and fact-check it yourself. And anytime you see the United States flag with a gold fringe, you know you're operating under maritime admiralty. So with that out of the way, we found the missing puzzle piece relating to a second Trump term. Let's talk about how this could relate to a Trump presidency. Kim Clement prophesied the first Trump term with startling accuracy, down to the second impeachment and even the emergence of a second group that will move together as one. In his exit speech, Donald said himself, "The best is yet to come." Kim also had a prophecy regarding two presidents. So is it possible that Donald Trump will be the rightfully elected president of the United States, and Joe Biden, through fraud, has begun to act as the president of the U.S. corporation? If we dive in further to unpack this, it gets a little bit more interesting. In 2018, Trump signed an executive order specifically outlining election interference in regards to foreign countries. With this executive order came the ability for Trump and the military to seize assets related to fraud. DC is a foreign entity that operates the United States Corporation. So in theory, if the US corporation was shut down, the capital would probably return to Philadelphia or perhaps go somewhere new. What's extremely odd is if you look at the inauguration of Biden, you have military all over the place, you have walls completely surrounding DC. So is it possible that DC itself was the first seizure as a foreign land on United States soil once the corporation of the United States has been absolved? This makes even more sense when you realize that Donald Trump, the rightfully elected president of the United States, can't rule the United States from a foreign land. If you watch the Biden inauguration closely, you'll see our military with their backs turned. If you watch the funeral of George Bush Sr., you'll see a wrinkled flag on the casket, which is reserved for traitors. The United States military knows the only thing remaining is public awareness. So how does God now show the last remaining sleepers their truth? In Kim's prophecy, it talks about bringing the nation to its knees. If Biden is operating legal fraud and the media is complicit in feeding this to the public as if he's the correct president, then eventually the media itself will implode and lose the remaining trust it has in the public. Another interesting piece is the switch. When those who hated Trump, called him stupid, tyrannical, will be forced to realize it was in fact themselves that were misled. It was in fact themselves that were destroying the nation. In fact themselves that were being tyrannical and evil towards their peers. In the end, it would be a great humbling towards those who need it most, and one can't know God without humility. So in this scenario, know that God wins. Just be patient, pray, and give thanks in the meantime.